Hello YouTube. Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai. Today's a good day. We beat Fulham 3-1, our favourite score, 3-1, predetermined already, and I've got a new toy to get into the analysis, because this channel is a channel of substance in abundance. Let's go. So after the damning performance against Atalanta where we went out of Europe in the Europa League, I'm glad to say that Liverpool turned up and did a few things that absolutely I've been calling for the last few weeks, including certain movements and certain controls of the ball and getting the ball in certain areas that for some reason we just didn't do in the last few games. I'm talking when the opposition set up in these kind of positions, in and around number 6, in the half space, around the outside as well. We just couldn't get an effective read of the game and players into that position and being effective in that position where we are so deadly. But in this game, it all changed. Is it personnel? Is it tactics? We'll get into it very, very shortly. But wow, Trent Alexander-Arnold is back and back with a bang. After the first free kick by Harvey Elliott, a bit tame, Alexander-Arnold got on the ball, whipped it in, curve, arc, right in top bins. Excellent, fantastic goal. Trent, our Scouse heartbeat. Trent, no matter where you play, when you whip the ball is a goal all day. So no matter what the haters have to say, he's a Scouse heartbeat and he's here to stay. He will sign a new contract. Absolutely confident of that. There's nowhere else he belongs except Liverpool. And the thing that defines the Jurgen Klopp era is Trent Alexander-Arnold, the talisman at right back, the playmaker, the metric game breaker, the one that they can't account for. Sure, they can attack him, they can target him. It might be a tactical flaw because obviously we vacate space there. But we sign players like Konate to cover that space. Szoboszlai, for all his kind of passing misadventures in the last few weeks, he is an absolute workhorse, covers that position. Henderson covered that position, Milner covers that position, Fabinho shifted over, and Endo shifts over. We have to allow Trent the freedom to play, because did you see that delicious cross-field ball to Robertson, who backheeled it to Gakpo, and only if he drove or did something that would have been absolutely class. That defines the Klopp era. Bombing fullbacks. We set up the whole team to allow Robertson to bomb forward, to allow Trent Alexander to bomb forward. We vacated certain positions to allow Trent to invert, to dictate the play as well. Trent is a game breaker, and there's not many in world football who can say from right back position that he can absolutely dominate a game, boss a game. When you have Trent Alexander-Arnold on the field, you always have an opportunity from deep, from a crotting position, from a free kick over the top. Now, he's not the best free kick taker in the world, but he has that in his locker. And my God, we need it, because other teams can give away fouls, tactical fouls in certain positions, knowing that we won't score from them. But when you have Trent on the pitch, and we would have hoped Szoboszlai as well, you just haven't seen it this season. But when you have Trent Alexander-Arnold on the pitch, you know for sure you can't afford to give away free kicks in dangerous areas. And there's even a ploy from our team to win free kicks in dangerous areas. You know, right? Ward-Prowse, Juninho Pernambucano, Mihailovic, that kind of player, right? Pirlo. When they're on the field, your team, as a tactical ploy, can try to win free kicks in tactical positions, because those are game-winning scenarios. So that is something that Trent offers, and that's something we've been missing when he's been out injured. The cross-field pass, the ability to hit any point of attack, to change the phase of play from being pressured, from being penned in, to straight away on the offensive attack, off we go. I'm going to mention a word for Cody Gakpo as well. Fantastic. Last few weeks, I said, for all those internet warriors who've been on Gakpo's case, racism, flaming, toxicity, trolling, flaming because of a few bad performances, under par performances, he is a talented player, and on this left wing slot, my goodness, he looks effective. He is so good at creating an opportunity to whip the ball in, to try to create an opportunity, and he releases the ball. He's looking to cross, he's looking to play to 1-2s, he's passing the ball back to Robertson, he's making the opportunities count, and the ball sticking with him on the left wing position. We've really missed someone on the left wing to do that, because Lucho Diaz, for all his endeavour on the left hand side, is quite predictable. Obviously he's a dribbling god and he's absolutely amazing, he works tirelessly, but Lucho Diaz on the right hand side, a revelation as well, because as I said, our attacks have been dying in that right half space, because we predominantly before set up that right half space. Henderson, Trent, Salah on form, Trent bombing up and down, Henderson covering like a workhorse, a maniac, giving the simple balls as well. Sure, we had Szoboszlai doing it as well. Szoboszlai at the start of the season was bang in form. But when the components start to fall down, or it becomes a bit predictable, if Salah's not on top form, which he isn't at the moment, the ball goes there to die, because Salah can't beat the man. Szoboszlai can't whip in the ball, can't get away the long shot because the first touch is not good enough. And we're going to talk about the first touch in half space position, in offensive Tricosta positions that really matter, and Trent being able to dictate the play from the right half space as well. But Lucho Diaz on the right hand side, for his endeavour, his energy, his drive, his ability to track back and defend, to progress the ball, really drive at the opposition, really cause havoc with the ball at his feet. Now, Mo Salah is one of the best in the world in the last decade even maybe of all time, in off-the-ball positioning and running, and really causing a threat by his positioning and his off-the-ball running. Now, with the ball, he's a tremendous threat as well, but in the last few weeks, we've seen this tapered off a bit in terms of his offensive output when he's got the ball. He's become more of a pseudo-playmaker in a right half-space position, but unless the forward is making those darting runs and keeping the offside line trap, beating it, which Núñez has been offside week on, week out, I think that Salah is a little bit undercooked in that position at the moment. Hopefully he can regain his form. He might be worried about the hamstring injury coming back from international duty. I think, when you've got that type of injury, you don't want a reoccurrence and you don't trust the body again. Van Dijk took a long time to get back into fitness and form, and a lot of players, Michael Owen for example, hamstring injuries really tapered off his career, and he couldn't make those darting sprints and runs and didn't trust himself as well. So hopefully Salah can still contribute towards the end of the season, because he's still our best big match player. He is our big match player, but obviously he had help from Firmino and Mane to unlock him previously. I still think Salah can come good at the start of the season. His goals and assists are really good, but he's got to find his way back into form, trust his body, and create that chemistry and working relations as well. I think Salah will come in against Everton, because Everton are the sort of team where Salah, cutting inside, he has an opportunity to really get the shots away, and hopefully he beats Pickford, because I think Pickford is very beatable from a long-range curling shot. He's not the best. He's very good at direct power drive straight shots, but Salah's curling effort, I think, is kind of tailor-made against Everton. So I'm really hoping he can come to form, and his chemistry with Trent ultimately has proved decisive on many occasions. So if Trent starts at right back, which I think he will do, him and Salah are a great combination, and it only leaves the question of who starts on the right side of the 8 midfield. Now, there's two things that I absolutely loved about the Diogo Jota and the Ryan Gravenberch goals. Let's start with the Diogo Jota one, right? So as the play begins, Van Dijk hits the ball back to Alisson. Their first press is coming towards Alisson, so Van Dijk makes himself available into this position here. Alisson chips over to Van Dijk. Van Dijk gives it to Gravenberch. Gravenberch is open in space. Now this is the ball. This is the absolute ball that I love. I absolutely love. Now you've got opposition in and around these positions here, and you've got Cody Gakpo in that position there. You play the ball into space knowing that Gakpo will get there first. When Gakpo gets the ball there, he's going to commit a defender. Now, if he can beat this defender, he's in the danger zone. The danger zone, right? The left half space offensive slot. This is the slot that we want to progress into. Beat the press, get into there, and then you can get your head up. If you can get your head up and deliver a good ball, my goodness, all you need is a good finisher who times his run well. And as you saw, Jota was shimmying, trying to get onto the onside, in line with the opposition defence. When the ball is slid through, Diogo Jota, of all people, is the one you want going through into the penalty area, slotting it away with a hard shot into goal. Now, this relies on an intelligent forward who knows how to bend his run, look over the shoulder, arch his run, which Jota did many times throughout the sequence. Cody Gakpo receiving the ball into a space where he's going to receive the ball first, but is inviting enough for the opposition to come to pressure him, and beats him on a 50-50 with physicality, good foot on the ball, gets into a half space position, gets his head up. Sometimes Gakpo shoots from this position, but on this occasion, he can see Jota the slotter is onside, making his run, slide him through, Jota in, left foot, underneath the keeper. Leno could have done better, but that was a hard shot, hard and low and true, into the goal it went. We finally scored goals from open play, and that was facilitated by the fact that this ball from Gravenberch, and it's not every player that does this, but I love the fact that Gravenberch is confident in his fellow Dutchman, Cody Gakpo, to hit the ball into space. Gakpo comes onto it, beats the man on the first press into the space. We do not do that often enough. Sometimes we just full back, pass inside, looking for clean balls to feet, clean balls over the top. Sometimes you hit the ball into a space and trust that your teammate will make something out of that opportunity. I want to see that so much more, because that is not a dangerous ball to do, because the ball is in front of you. When you lose the ball going horizontally, laterally, or backwards, you're absolutely stuffed. They'll go straight towards your goal. When you lose the ball going forwards, you're still in a safe zone because the player's in front of you, so you can look at the runners, you can maintain your shape, you can hold an offside line, you can call the players back, right? So I want to see more of those balls into space, trusting your teammate to come onto the ball and making something happen to beat the press. Now, I am absolutely in love with Gravenberch's goal. Ryan Giro Gravenberch. You know why? Harvey Elliott, 21 years old, gets the ball. He's 21 years old, right? The same age as Jarell Quansah, who's only just broken through, right? Elliott being a known quantity for many years because he's a true wonder kid in a truer sense. Breaks the lines with a pass into Gravenberch, who is 21 years old, the same age as Jarell Quansah, yet the expectations are absolutely out of this world in terms of different proportions, okay? Because Gravenberch has been a known quantity since he was young as well, but he's 21, he's going to be inconsistent. He has high highs and low lows, but obviously it's about coaching, it's about time, it's about patience, it's about getting used to his teammate. He didn't have a full preseason either. Elliot broke the lines to Ryan Gravenberch. Ryan Gravenberch, now this is absolutely different gravy, right? Szoboszlai needs to watch this clip over and over again because Szoboszlai absolutely has this in his locker. Left foot first touch, out of his feet. Right foot to set himself up, and with no backlift, caresses the ball through the ball with no backlift in to the side netting, bounces off, back into the goal. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Back to goal, left foot to set it onto right foot to set into shooting position, and in one motion, caressing it into the side net. Szoboszlai for sure will score so many goals doing that, but the ability to shift it onto one foot, move it into space, and take your shot that 1 or 2 inch either direction. Bergkamp was a master doing this, obviously Dutch master. I didn't realise that connection before I mentioned it. Berbatov is very, very good at that. Ibrahimovic is very, very good at that. Christian Vieri, back in the day, very, very good at that. Roberto Baggio, very, very good at that. Hernan Crespo, Gabriel Batistuta. Shift the ball to one side, open yourself up, slot it. I know Szoboszlai can do that. McAllister can do that as well. Trent Alexander-Arnold can do it as well. So many of our players have the ability to do this, but Gravenberch is the one who demonstrated it perfectly, because in that position, you don't have the time to take a really, really precise first touch. It has to be like a metronome in one movement. Touch, set, out, shoot. And Gravenberch, that's his high ceiling. That is the high ceiling. That's what we want. And then he's giving a bit of the Jujutsu Kaisen pose, you know. I don't want to spoil the anime, but badass anime. It's really, really bloody and violent and, oh, a good anime. Anyway, let's get back to the board. Now, it seems to only be this season that expected goals is become something very, very apparent, very in the mainstream, a key word, right? So you got Cody Gakpo, left-hand position. You got Diogo Jota occupying the middle, and Lucho Diaz, a kind of square in a round hole on the right position, because he's a true winger and he's got great ball carrying capabilities. Now, this team, this lineup didn't have the best chances, did not have a high goal expectancy, because it makes sense, right? Gravenberch always cuts inside in this position. He can on occasion go outside. Diogo Jota living on the last man's shoulder. But what you're going to do in this position, Gravenberch likes to whip the ball in. He's not very, very good at the cute passes in and down the line. Lucho Diaz tries to go around the outside, tries to cut inside. He hasn't got a great left-footed shot, right? So predominantly he's going to drive and dribble, which is what you want. But he's not going to be the best link-up man with Diogo Jota. And he's not going to be the best man to switch it over to Gakpo as well. So ultimately, it's going to be Gakpo whipping it into this kind of position here. This kind of position here for Lucho Diaz or Jota header. And apart from that, you don't really know what's going on, because Jota, in this position, he doesn't really want to play make on this line as well, because who's going to slide in? Sliding in Lucho Diaz to cut in on his left foot? Unlikely, unless Lucho Diaz can go around and shoot near post. But we haven't really seen that on occasion and often enough. And we haven't got really, really good right winger who can take advantage of that position, because Salah also wants to cut inside on his left foot, and it's not the one for Jota to slide in. Similarly, he's not going to slide in Gakpo in this position, because I think Gakpo prefers to shoot heavily on his right foot as well. So link up and chemistry between these players aren't exactly the most predominant, aren't exactly the best. However, what you do have is fresh legs, fresh ideas and unpredictability, because opposition won't know what to do, right? So you see the opposition, let's put your standard back four players, okay? Standard back four players. I'm going to represent my players with noughts and crosses. If anyone's got a better idea, let me know. But Gakpo, you know, wants to cut into his half position here, which means Robertson goes around the outside, okay? So there's your obvious threat. Lucho Diaz on this side is a wild card, because you don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to dribble you up. Jota, the slotter, occupies the defender on the last shoulder as well. So with this kind of formation, this kind of setup, you don't know whether Jota's going to drop deep and try and play make, or lift off the shoulder and try to run in behind. Obviously, Jota in between the fullback and the centre back. These channels are very, very dangerous, but predominantly Jota likes to operate on the left-hand side. So you give Lucho Diaz the space and time to cause havoc in around the area, because Trent Alexander-Arnold in this area can hit the ball out there, or hit the ball out to Robertson, bombing down the line as well. This is the most effective one, because similar to what we've done all season, Robertson around the outside to a Gakpo who cuts inside, your double pivot, your double threat straight there. On this side, Trent doesn't really go high as much. You're banking on Lucho Diaz doing classical winger play on this occasion. Jota connecting everything in and around him, right? Harvey Elliott is predominantly the wide playmaker. So Harvey Elliott is the one going to be cutting inside here, which allowed Lucho Diaz going outside. But actually, Lucho Diaz and Harvey Elliott didn't have the best chemistry either. But for Endeavour, sure, they tried their best. They tried their best, and Harvey Elliott has always been whipping it left foot across to the back post. And Jota and Gakpo, there isn't a bad option as well, because it's either Gakpo Jota, Diaz, they all love to go in the left-hand channel, and they're pretty good at receiving the ball and playing it in and around as well. But you have Wataru Endo holding midfield, and on the other side, Gravenberch. Now, Gravenberch, as we mentioned, is a one who's box-to-box, breaking the lines as well. We kind of need a wild card like Gravenberch to do that, because for all his miscontrol and loose touches and loose passes, because he's young, as I said, he is an X factor in terms of progressing the ball into dangerous positions in the number 6 positions. And it's these positions for Jurgen Klopp team that really cause the damage. So this team is the second string, is the bench, is the squad team, but it was effective. Low goal expectancy, but clinical finishing, because we got ourselves into the most dangerous positions, the game-winning scenarios. And that's why I don't like goal expectancy, because anyone can talk about goal expectancy, but my goal expectancy is finish your chances with your best finishers in the right position, or get into the right position to score the goals. Not do the same patterns and play over and over again, expecting different outcome, because that is the definition of insanity, my friend. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I really like this board. Click there and it all gone, and we can do it again, right? Make sure you like this video. I'm actually looking at lots of different software pieces, and even maybe commissioning some custom goodies for the new studio, new house, to give you the tactical analysis, to give you the content and all good fun for the rest of the season. I'm actually going to do loads and loads of giveaways from Japan as well. Loads and loads of exclusive goodies. That Kitty-chan is absolutely adorable, right? So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. That was a very good performance. On to Everton as well. We've got to win that derby. I think Everton, having beaten Nottingham Forest, ooh, a bit sketchy there, a bit sensitive, right? But yeah, they should be safe. They should be fairly safe this season, even with the points penalties. But we've got to show our title chasing credentials, because we are still in it. It's Klopp's glorious final chapter. I don't always agree with some of the substitutions and the tactics employed, but at least this particular match shows that Klopp actually says, what the hey, let's go with this team, let's go with these guys, and let's give it a proper go. And we did Fulham in. We always score bangers against Fulham. I love the fact that when we play Fulham, scorching shots. Goal of the season contenders. No, not really goal of the season, but yeah, goal of the month at least. Okay, until next time. Janet, Miyazaki-man, Ichiban.